Hi everybody, it's John with Backyard Eden, and welcome back to my show. So we are here in the backyard garden. As you can tell, right behind me is the greenhouse. It is one of my favorite things and places here on the homestead. Alright, so today I'm bringing you a special video. I've been invited to participate in a collaboration. It is called Our Homestead World. It is a collaboration with Liz Zorab in the UK. Over in Wales, and also with Danny and Wanda at Deep South Homestead in Mississippi here in the United States. Basically the idea with this collaboration is it's called Our Homestead World, and really what it is it's kind of like a spotlight on homesteads all over the world. Small homesteads, large homesteads, basically wherever they may be, and how things can be or vary in that location. So there are some questions that I'm going to answer, so let's get started. Also, if you want to join in on this collaboration, go ahead and go over to Liz Zorab's channel or Danny and Wanda's Deep South channel, and just you can find a playlist on their channel, and you can join in too. You'll have the questions there, and you can join in and make your own video as well. So let's dive right in. So there are 15 questions, and it's all really to get an idea about where we are. So the first question is, where in the world are you? It's a good question. So where in the world am I? We are in, my wife and I, we have 5 kids. We are in the United States. We are in the United States. The next question is, where approximately is your homestead? So our homestead, we are located in Texas, just east, about 30 minutes or so east of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So, question number 3. What is the size of our homestead? This is where it gets a little tricky. So we are actually in a suburb of the Dallas area, and our homestead is really small. I usually just say it's less than 1/4 of an acre. That way it's easy to just kind of throw that out there, kind of label it. It's less than 1/4 of an acre. But if you really want to get down to the math, it's 0.14 of an acre. About. That could be off a little bit, but it's about 0.14 of an acre. So it's super tiny. Part of that reason is, obviously because of our house, and we are in a huge subdivision. You can check out some footage right there. But yeah, so we are on a small lot. The next question, is your homestead rural or urban? I think I've pretty much answered that, but just to clarify, we are an urban homestead, small urban lot in the middle of town. So that kind of limits some of the things that we can do, but not too much. Just to give you an idea about the town that we're in, there's about 20,000 people or so in this area, and whether it's in the town or the surrounding area. Okay, question number 5. What is the climate? Ooh, there's my notebook. What is the climate like, and the weather? What is the climate and the weather like where we're at? And to answer that question, there's really one word to describe it. It's hot. The climate, the summer is hot and muggy, probably on average between 95 and 100 most days. Some days it can go over that triple digit mark and be around 105. Sometimes even as high as 107, 108, 109, somewhere in there. Those, of course, are the hottest days. Fall and spring is really where it's at for us. It's still hot. I like to make the joke of we are in Texas. There are two jokes I like to make. The first one is we have 3 growing seasons, or 3 seasons, or 3 types of weather: hot, hotter, and, well, Hades. So, and then the second joke I like to make is we live in Texas. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. It'll change. So, the next question is, what is our growing season? Now, because we are in Texas, we do have a long growing season. We can grow generally about 275 days, 275 frost-free days for the most part. I like to push that a little bit. I don't always play by the rules. We usually get our first frost is generally about the 3rd week in November. Sometimes it's a little later. Sometimes it's the 1st week in December. It really just depends. Texas weather is kind of iffy. And then our last frost is generally around Easter. We can actually plant out ahead of that a little bit. We can plant out generally the 2nd week in March, if you're prepared to cover whatever you're planting out, because we do most times get a last frost, or a real sneaky frost, either the week of Easter or right around Easter. So for me, for the most part, I don't put anything out that I'm not willing to lose, if that makes sense. And before that, I'll, and then after Easter, of course, then I'll start full force and getting everything transplanted out. So yeah, first frost mid-November, mid to late November, and then last frost really toward the end of March, 1st of April. This year, Easter is on April Fool's Day, or April 1st. Next question. Do you have any animals? The answer to that is yes, we do. We are on a small lot, but we can still do some certain things with animals here. Now, obviously, I won't ever be able to have a steer for beef, or a milk cow, or even really goats here because of the lack of space. But we can have certain types of animals here. So currently, we only have ducks. We do get eggs every day. We are looking to expand our ducks a little bit, not a whole lot because of the space, but we are going to add maybe 4 more laying ducks to the flock. And then sometime later in the spring, probably in the next month or so, we're going to be adding rabbits. Not a lot, just 1 or maybe 1 to 3. 1 to 3, at least 2, right? At least 2. But possibly even 3. So we're going to add those in the next month or so. Those will be dual purpose. It'll provide us a great source of manure for the gardens, and also a great source of meat that we can produce right here on our small urban homestead. So, question number 8. What fruits, veggies, and grains do we grow? Well, let's just start with the easy one. Grains. We really don't grow any sort of grains here because, like I said before, lack of space. Grains are something you really need to grow in a larger area so that you can produce enough to either feed yourself or feed your animals. So we really don't have the space for that. But as far as fruits and veggies, we really can grow practically anything. I don't limit myself on growing. Just to give you some examples, we grow peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, tons of herbs, squash, zucchini, cantaloupe, watermelon. Haven't grown pumpkins yet, but at some point I probably will. tons of lettuces, tons of greens, kale, all that sort of stuff. So practically any vegetable or fruit. This year we are adding some additional fruits. Be sure to check out a future video on that. But we're adding, I've already actually bought the plants. I bought 2 Thompson seedless grape variety, 2 grapevines. I bought some raspberries, I bought some blackberries, and another blueberry. We already have 1 blueberry, so that's just sort of an example. Fruits and veggies, no problem, we can grow them, and I get creative on where to put them. So yeah, stay tuned for future videos on that. Next question number 9. How do you grow your crops? So the tricky question is here. How do you grow your crops? So I grow in a variety of different ways. We grow in raised beds, primarily in the backyard. We have 10 raised beds. We're adding 2 more this year. We also grow in a variety of containers. Different pots, anywhere from 1-gallon pots all the way up to 35-gallon pots. That's all really done mostly in the backyard. But in addition to that, we do have a couple of in-ground areas as well. And then out beside the house in the front yard, side yard, front side yard, we have a Back to Eden style garden bed. It is about 6 feet wide, and it's about 35 or 40 foot long. In all of those beds, whether it's the raised beds, the containers, or the Back to Eden style garden, we do grow organically. We only use organic methods here, but in addition to that, we also do a intensive method, and we use a lot of the square foot method, gardening method as well, for planting most of our crops. In addition to that, as you can tell behind me, we did go out and get the materials and build a greenhouse this past fall, so we are growing in the greenhouse as well. So to answer that question, we grow a ton of different ways. We grow a ton of different foods, and it's amazing. So next question number 10. Do you sell any of your produce, animals, or other things that you create on your homestead for income? I guess the short answer is sort of. I do sell bits and pieces of produce here and there. At my job. For the most part, we just share our harvest with friends and family. Animals, we really don't have the space to really produce and sell animals. But we do, some of the things we do make and sell here, well, actually, we're starting to sell. My wife makes certain bath products, like bath bombs and sugar scrubs and just those sort of products. So we are actually going to start selling those this year. So yeah, hopefully that'll bring us some income. But other than that, both my wife and I both work. She works full-time. I work sort of full-time, sort of not. So yeah, it would be great to start making an income from stuff that I can produce here on the homestead. Question number 11. Do you grow solely for your own needs? Yes and no. Like I said, we do share with other friends and family when we have an abundance. But yeah, for the most part, we grow solely for our needs. We would like that to change in 2018. We are kind of trying to figure out how to add a little bit of a market garden. Here on our small urban lot, or potentially going and finding a vacant lot, or someone that's not using their land and planting on there and using that as my market garden. So stay tuned for that. But for the most part, we grow solely for us, and we do produce about 65 to 70% of the fruits and veggies we eat each year here on the homestead. So that's awesome. We obviously would want to increase that. We would love to get to a point someday where we're growing 100% of the fruits and veggies that we're eating each year. And I know it can be done. It's just a matter of the right planning, and all of that. So, question number 12, do you have any health issues that impact or guide your homesteading? And do they affect how you live or work your land? The question there is a great question, because I think a lot of people really don't take that into to account when they're considering homesteading, the challenges that you might face. But fortunately for us, my wife and I, we are actually in good health. I am a large guy. Other than that, which that'll cause me to face some issues down the road. But other than that, right now we are healthy and we don't have any issues. And certainly, but that is certainly something to think about in the future. I like something that one of the channels here on YouTube says all the time. If you are not a follower of Doug and Stacy over at Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, they have a saying that they use all the time about aging in place. And that is something to really think about. When you set up your homestead. Question number 13. How long have you been homesteading? I would say I've been homesteading, I guess my wife and I have been homesteading for about 4 years now. But I grew up on a farm. Question number 14. Do you like homesteading? And the answer to this question is absolutely yes. It is truly amazing when you can wake up in the morning, step out onto your property in the middle of God's creation, and just enjoy what you do. And I enjoy it. I love homesteading. I love gardening. I love taking care of the animals. I love making things from the homestead, from the land. And so, yes, absolutely, I love homesteading. It is truly amazing. And if you're not doing it, you need to figure out a way to do it. You can start right where you're at. Question number 15. What homestead activity do you like the most? There's no doubt about it. This is real simple for me. My wife might say something different as far as for her, and sorry she could not be here today for this video. But no doubt about it, gardening is my favorite homesteading activity. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of learning, and it really keeps my mind going. I am always thinking about how to improve my garden, and that keeps me motivated. It keeps me focused on doing something each day, getting better and doing it. So and with us being on a small urban lot, that's something that I can focus in on. I can't really have herds of animals, but I can focus in on gardening, and I absolutely love it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That is our homestead world. I hope that you learned a little something about us here at Backyard Eden today. And if you have any further comments or questions or suggestions, pop those in the comment section below. I beg you guys, please go check out these channels. Go check out Liz Zorab's channel over in the UK, and also check out Danny and Wanda's channel here in the United States, down there in Mississippi, Deep South Homesteading. Definitely check those channels out. Check the playlist out. There's a lot of great channels participating in it. And just like I said before, guys, if you want to participate in it, go over there, check those channels out, get the questions, and make your own video. We would love to learn about you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't checked us out on social media, you can find the links in the description below. And if you haven't checked us out on our website, go to www.backyard-eden.com. And as always, from here in Texas, right outside Dallas, from our homestead world, until next time, have a great day. Hey, you made it to the end. Awesome. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that right below this video. And please, if you enjoyed it, share with your friends. And I hope that you will come back and continue to watch our content, and also have an awesome day.